This week, you've turned in the second major project in this course, the research paper. As far as projects go, up to this point, we've written in primarily academic genres. You've planned and executed research with the research proposal and annotated bibliography, and now we move into the next step of the process. We know that most of the time we aren't learning things from reading research papers. That's not the way that we tend to consume and absorb knowledge. As such, you'll now turn your research paper into a multimodal remix. Essentially, you'll be taking the argument that you made and the research that you did, and you'll turn it into a multimodal text. We reviewed multimodality briefly before, but the other video this week will get into it as well as your readings, so make sure you take a look at either the video or the transcript for that, and you can find the assignment sheet for this project in the Week 7 module under Course Documents for Week 7. Your audience for this project is primarily the same audience as the last project, so you'll be writing to Ball State faculty, staff, and students. Your topic will stay the same too, since you're remixing the research paper. This isn't just taking quotes from your research paper and pasting them into something else. When the mode of a text changes, you need to think about how else you can present things in that genre. For instance, it would be ineffective to make a TikTok where you just read from your research paper. Nobody wants to watch that. So, how else would you get people interested in what you have to say? Using trending sounds, putting text on the screen, or just writing things more concisely and plainly with slang, all fit the platform more effectively. I've got a list of options for you on the assignment sheet, but if you'd like to do a mode that's not listed, you're more than welcome to. You just need to email me to get permission first. For an infographic, just a standard size one would work. You can Google exact dimensions, but the standard size should be fine. A poster series should be 3 posters that would get hung up somewhere on campus. A set of memes, we want at least 10, and please note they should be related to your topic. I had students a couple years ago for a different project that chose a meme option and then just made memes and did not tie it to the research that they had already done. So if you make memes, tie it to the research paper. A flow chart should be 1 to 2 pages long, and a comic strip should be between 16 and 20 panels, or about 2 pages. You can do a pocket guide to something, which should be 6 pages with images throughout. A challenge campaign has been popular in similar projects in the past, and for that you would need 7 days worth of content or challenges on whatever social media platform you'd like. If you do just regular social media posts, you only need to pick one from this list. I had students pick this and then have a meltdown a couple of years ago because they didn't read the assignment sheet and thought they had to do all of them. You only have to do one. You do not have to do all of them. Pick one platform. You could also do something like a TED Talk where you have about 10 slides and a 10-minute presentation. If you do a podcast, make it between 5 and 7 minutes and make sure you include a transcript. Now we can get into the requirements for the project. So to the Canvas assignment itself, you should turn in 3 things: the multimodal remix text, a works cited page with at least 3 sources cited as standard in your field, and then a rhetorical rationale. For the multimodal text, you'll need to include any necessary accessibility requirements like captions for any videos, alt text for images, and transcript for audio. You should include any in-text citations and a call to action. A call to action should make the audience excited about your cause. Why should they care, and what can they do to help the cause? Other than that, just make sure you're meeting the length requirement listed on the assignment sheet. Now, the rhetorical rationale isn't something that you've written before for our class, but you might have done them in 103. The point of a rhetorical rationale is to describe and explain what choices you made in your text. The word count for this is 500 words, and you should make sure that you answer all of the questions. What mode did you select and why? What problem did you select and why? How do you expect your audience to access the text? Now, realistically, your audience probably will not see it because you are not required to circulate it. But tell me where in theory they can see it. Are you going to hang up posters in the library? Are they supposed to see your challenge on Instagram? Are you going to drop something in a group me somewhere? Up to you, but tell me, how do you expect your audience to access the text? From there, we get into your intent for the text. So if it were to be circulated, what would you want your audience to do with it? How do you want them to feel as a result of your text? Are they supposed to like it, comment on it, or share it in some way? Do you want them to show up somewhere for a protest? Do you want them to sign a petition? You don't need to actually circulate it like we said, but just think about what you would want to happen. What should the audience do after they read your text or watch your text or listen to your text? Then you can write about what choices you made to appeal to your audience. So did you use a trending sound or a dance or something, right? What language did you choose to use? Did you stick to really formal academic English, or are you using more plain language, and why? Did you choose specific colors to appeal to your audience? If you're doing some sort of social media post with visual design, are you picking certain colors that are going to stand out or pop? And then if you run into issues with meeting the 500 word requirement for this part of the project, this question is likely the easiest to add words to, right? Just think about each thing you did in the text and then write about why you did it. And finally, we want to know how you would determine the success of your multimodal text. Are you going based off of a certain number of views, likes, comments, shares? Would you send out a survey to gauge interest? Would you have a fake event where you could take attendance? That's up to you, but tell us how you would determine its success. This project is due on Sunday, July 6th at 11:59 p.m. It's a shorter turnaround time than the previous projects, but you already have all of the research for it. So it's just turning that research into a new text. You're not doing a ton of writing like you just did with the research paper for this one. This is also the last project that you can use your one-time extension on. With the timeline being what it is, you'll want to make sure that you start drafting this week. Next week, you can finish the draft and make any revisions. And typically the rhetorical rationale doesn't take students very long, so you can likely do that next week too. If you have any questions, feel free to post a question on the catch-all discussion board, make an appointment with the Writing Center, or send me an email.